Thanks for tuning in to the Mission Matters podcast, where we feature successful, mission-driven leaders committed to creating a positive change in the world. Our mission with this channel is to inspire other leaders by providing industry insights, new ideas, and inspiring stories from the pros.
All right, welcome. Paul Feith here, where I talk with leaders heading up mission-focused organizations, always leading from the heart and making a difference in their communities. With me today, I should actually mention our sponsor, Gregory Media. They're one of a few thousand B Corps in the country. To learn more about B corporations and Paul Gregory Media, visit paulgregorymedia.com. Excited to have with me Ashley Abraham. Ashley has joined Ride Assist Naperville, the name of the organization, back in 2017, and recently became their executive. Well, I don't know how recent it was, 2021, right, Ashley?
Yeah.
You became an executive director. She has a lot of experience in the nonprofit world and for-profit world, which enables her to grow this organization to help more seniors in Naperville and the surrounding area. So welcome, Ashley.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I would love for you to maybe just tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself. What led you to maybe Ride Assist Naperville?
Yeah, it was kind of a roundabout way. I was working in the bridal and event industry, actually, and then got married myself and had my two little kids and decided I wanted to take a break. And I started just working part-time at the community. It was called the Community Career Center, now the CNC Community Network Center. And when I had my son, I left there and I was home being a stay-at-home mom for a few months when my old boss, Kim White, gave me a call and said, "There's this new nonprofit in Naperville and I put your name up because I think you're going to be perfect for it." And I was like, okay, and started working with Ride Assist Naperville as a program coordinator initially, and really fell in love with the mission. I've always loved working with seniors and working at nonprofits. I like working, the old adage of, if you like your work, you never work a day in your life. And that was really kind of how it fit for me. And and then, COVID happened. I became a board member. I decided to take a break as the program coordinator. So I gave my resignation and the board asked me to be a board member. And so they wouldn't lose me for good. And so I became a board member for about a year.
They wanted that institutional knowledge that you had and that experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they, in 2021, asked me to become the executive director. So I've been the executive director now for 2 years.
Wow. So you are one of the lucky few, because there's another adage out there. Don't do what you like because you may not be good at it. Do what you're good at and you'll be successful. But you're one of the lucky few who actually liked and hopefully continues to like what you do. And You're right. You never work. And kudos to Kim White from the Career Networking Center. What an endorsement of of yourself. So, we got to have
She's
her
good at putting people in their careers, right?
Well, yeah, that's what she does, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now you're the executive director of Ride Assist, and I think now is probably a perfect time to just tell our listeners, what does Ride Assist Naperville do?
Sure. So we're a nonprofit. We give rides to seniors to their medical appointments. So if a Naperville senior who's 60 years or older, if they need transportation to their medical appointments, they can give us a call and we will pick them up. We'll bring them to their appointment. We wait with them in the lobby or the waiting room, and then we bring them back home. So we really tailor our service to the senior that might need a little extra hand-holding. So whether they don't have family nearby or they can't or refuse to use Uber or Lyft, then we are able to fill that gap for a lot of people.
And it's just to be clear, it's just to doctor appointments, right?
Just medical appointments, yes.
Medical appointments. I wish we had this service in New Jersey where my parents are.
Yeah.
Well, what is the cost of this service?
It's free. We do ask for a donation for each ride, which is $15 if that's a round trip ride. But many seniors are on no income or a very limited income, so it's always just a suggested donation. We have a lot of riders who don't want any charity, or they love our service so much that they want to be able to give back to make sure that we continue giving them rides. So that's why we have a suggested donation amount, just to help offset some of the costs.
Sure. Sure. And I have a question that follows that, but I'm not sure if you'd be comfortable answering it, is what percentage of people donate anything?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's at about 55%.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot higher than I thought it would be.
It is. We have, so about 85% of our seniors are considered low income, as almost all of them really.
Yeah.
And so some of them will give, a few dollars here and there. So that's included in what donations they give.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily that they're paying $15 for each of their rides, but they do give something.
And the donations go to the organization, not the driver, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So the drivers truly are volunteers.
Yeah, I'm biased, but I really think they're the best volunteers in Naperville. They use their own cars, their own time, their own gas money. They pick up the senior, they drive them, wait with them, give them a nice outing, because this might be their one and only time that they're out of the house that day. And they make it pleasant, and they enjoy talking with the seniors as well. So I hear all the time that they become friends outside of
You
that.
can't do this and not form friendships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking the same person month after month.
Mm-hmm.
So there's relationships that are being developed here. I'm sure you hear lots of stories.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. We're picking up Agnes. I don't know why I pick Agnes. When I think of an old person, I think of Agnes.
Okay.
We're picking up Julie today, and
Yeah.
can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. So how busy are you these days? We're now in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're the busiest we've ever been. 2017 to early 2020, we were in a steady growth pattern. And then, 2020 happened and we all but stopped giving rides. We never totally stopped giving rides, because we had a few people that were going to dialysis or chemo and radiation. So those were, life-saving things that we needed to get them to. But pretty much we stopped, minus a few things. And then just last year and a half, we've had a surge in growth again. We had a lot of riders give us a call and say, hey, I used to use you guys, but now I feel like it's safe enough to go to my dentist appointment again, and I haven't seen them in 2 or 3 years. Would you be able to give me a ride? And so we're getting our old riders back, and we're getting new applications for new riders every day. So we have the most riders we've ever had. And luckily, through the last year, working really hard to find new volunteers, we have the most volunteers we've ever had. So we're the busiest we've ever been.
Wow. Well, that's good for you. There's definitely a need in the community, which, just hearing you say that you're the busiest you've been, are there, do you call them clients or patients or
Riders?
Okay. So do you have to turn down any of your riders?
We do, unfortunately. Right now, we decline about 22% of our rides that are requested. That's down. About this time last year, we were declining about 35% of all the rides requested. So we're going in the right direction. Our goal is to help and give a ride to everyone that gives us a call that needs it. So that's what we're working towards right now.
Right. So from 35% last year to 22%, that's great. So you're finding the volunteers to meet that demand.
Yeah.
But maybe not fast enough. So that's I guess your next priority, I would imagine.
Absolutely. That's always my number one priority, I think.
Yeah. We were talking about mission creep earlier. I want to just touch on that because your mission, correct me if I'm wrong, is to give riders rides to their medical appointments. But sometimes you get requests for things that are a little outside of that.
Yeah, we have riders and they'll try and see what else we can help with. They love our service so much that they've asked, can you take me grocery shopping? Can you take me to the bank? Any other errands? Another one we get a lot is, will you take me to the vet? That's technically medical, right? So we have to decline and make sure that we stay to what we can do. or I speak with a lot of adult children that live around the country that are trying to help their parent that lives in Naperville. They're trying to find services for them. So I talk with a lot of adult children, and so they'll call me and say, well, my mother-in-law, she happens to live in Aurora. Would you be able to still give her rides? And so I have, unfortunately, we have to say no. We really have to stick with what we're able to do right now. And right now it's just Naperville residents.
Right. So stick with medical appointments only in Naperville area. And once you're able to fill that capacity,
we hope to expand.
The board can discuss other.
Yeah.
So chauffeuring may be in the, because it's kind of like, sounds like what people are asking the most. Yeah, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
To the grocery store, take me to see my family.
Well, I mean, if you live alone and you don't have family nearby, or you don't have a car anymore, your sense of independence is just stripped away from you. And I can only imagine how that must feel, how lonely that would be. So if you have someone giving you a ride and they're having a conversation with you and they're treating you like a family member or a friend, then yeah, I'd rather take that ride over a bus or, Uber, which doesn't work for a lot of our seniors anyways, because if they have a smartphone, they don't know how to use Uber or apps. So yeah, we try and
the cost is prohibitive sometimes too, right?
Absolutely. So say they're taking, they got to go to cardiac rehab 3-4 times a week, taking an Uber ride there and back 3-4 times a week. That gets expensive for someone that is on a limited income.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So like all nonprofit leaders, you're faced with, the common core of doing more with less. So you have how many employees?
Myself and one program assistant. So 2 of us.
2 of you. And your number one goal and priority is now to meet the demand.
Yes.
And you're about 22% away from that right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's excellent. Any plans to do any new hires, or that might come if you guys start expanding?
Yeah. So in January, so it's December right now. So next month we are planning our annual board meeting and do a little strategic planning there. One of the main things we're looking for is someone with more fundraising expertise. So that will be on the docket, hopefully to hire someone with fundraising background and help us more with fundraising in the coming year and years. One nice thing, though, is we have a great working board. So as board members that we bring on, they're not just there to help vote on things. They actually put in a lot of the volunteer hours as well.
Wow. A working board. That's always nice to see, nice to have.
Yeah. They're all great.
Good. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything I had for you. Doing more with less was a big one. And it's something that all nonprofit leaders have to do. They're forced to.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you don't have a office, or do you?
No, we work remotely. For a few years, the Naperville Park District gave us some office space that we worked out of, but then for various reasons, we no longer have that. But it's really nice to work from home, work remotely. I like being able to just kind of work from home and have my flex time. And I think part of a nonprofit, working for a nonprofit, not just myself, but I keep in mind our program assistant as well. You're not necessarily always paid the most. There's lots of competitors out there that you can work for. And one of the nice things is like a perk of being able to have flex time, work from home, choose the days you want that you have on or off, I think, and having a great culture, a working culture, is one of those things that keeps myself and our employee happy and happy to stay.
Yeah. That's a big deal. Flex time and working from home. It's, there were some reports earlier during the pandemic, how people felt isolated, but I think we have the tools now and we know how to use them. Like we're doing this on Zoom right now. And there's a lot of people I haven't met in person, but only met on a square on my screen. And
that's so funny. Yeah.
When we see each other in person on occasion, if that does happen, I sometimes don't even remember, like I haven't met them before, because You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
distinguish sometimes. Yeah, I think your memory can't distinguish. Like, did you see them in person or was it only on Zoom?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even with we're part of a Transportation Alliance group
Yeah.
of different ride shares that are from Northern Illinois. So we all meet quarterly. We Before COVID, they all used to meet in person, and we've never all met in person, including myself, because I have always just been on the Zoom calls. So actually, we're meeting in person for the first time in January. So it'd be nice to meet other executive directors of ride shares of Northern Illinois in person. So as you said,
It's nice. I think we only met in person maybe twice.
Yeah.
It was more than that. It was at the nonprofit mixer and it was at the nonprofit breakfast.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Wow. Well, I think we've got a great understanding of your organization, 22% away from meeting your goal, which is awesome. So you've done a great job in the last couple of years as the executive director. Any parting thoughts for our listeners out there?
So I guess I would say for leaders of nonprofits, keep your mission at the forefront of whatever you do. Mission creep is real and you can't be everything for everyone. And just try and make sure that you stay focused on what you want to accomplish at the end of the day. Mission
creep is real. Yes. Even some nonprofit executive directors want to do more, right?
I would love to do more. We just need the capacity to do it.
Sure. Capacity, the resources, the funding, et cetera.
Yeah. Because the need is there. So.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time out.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. Till next time. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Mission Matters podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.